Hello everyone. So we are picking up from where we left off. So just to recap on our last session, we said this is a support line. Then we are going to put back our resistance line, which we would place here. So now we want to see what happens if we move this line here. Then we said we would now change the way we look at this line from that point. So we are now going to have resistance that has been broken, now becoming the new support level, which we would expect to hold into time until it is broken. So what happens now if we take this price here and it does this? Then we would say the rationale has changed. Again, we would now go back and say this is support up to this point. Then we bring back resistance again into the picture. So here we're going to see that, okay, this is support, bouncing off resistance, then it breaks resistance, the resistance becomes the new support, it breaks through again, and now the resistance gets back to being resistance from support. So this is what happens. So you would expect that if you put more lines here going up, you would expect that as the price comes down, it would start breaking that support and becoming resistance, going downwards. When it retraces going upwards again, it will do the opposite of that. So you need to consider that when you're looking at charts for support and resistance. Usually when price is at the support level, it moves quickly going back upwards. The same applies if it hits resistance. So you need to always consider this in coming up with your trading plan or investment plan. Now, what determines the strength of these lines? The first thing you need to consider is the recency. How recent has this line been tested? You would want to see a more recent support line that you would use because it will be the most relevant. Then you have got time as well. The longer the line stayed as resistance, the longer it can also stay as support. And the same can be said also for a line that was support. If it becomes broken and had been holding on for a while, then you would expect it would offer strong resistance, or it would offer strong support such that price quickly gets back above that support line because there will be many buyers. Then you also need to consider what happens at this point here, like at the point where you have got the break of the line. Supposing that this price was moving upwards, then it reaches this point and it breaks above the resistance. So now we can say this point here, price is now bouncing off this support. Before it bounces off and it comes to this point, you need to consider the volume of the shares that are being traded. What you want to see for a good break of resistance is that you have got more buying volume than selling volume. If you are seeing that as it approached this level here and the buying volume was becoming smaller and smaller, you might find that price would go above the resistance, but if the volume of buyers doesn't continue picking up, then sellers are going to overwhelm it and it will push back the price towards this zone, and what we thought was broken resistance becomes resistance again, as there was no support it could provide above those prices. Then you also need to note the price momentum. If price is showing that it has got strength going up, then you can trust that resistance that has been broken to hold as the new support. So you will need to put these things into consideration. And usually when you draw a line of resistance and support, you need to consider how many times it has been touched by the chart. The more times, the stronger that it confirms. The fewer times, the more you need to be tentative of when to buy or when to sell until you have seen that there is good confirmation of a new trend or a new level of support and resistance. So that is all for now. In the next lesson, we are going to open a real chart and try to draw some resistance and support lines. Thank you.